Back to driver. Let us go to work for you.
Weddermark Keith, the name you know and trust.
A few days ago, we had the pleasure of heading up Signal Mountain, spending some time at Alexian Village talking to one of the residents who had recently moved in the midst of COVID. So we thought it was a great time to also spend some time talking with Doug Malin. He has been very busy these last several months, really, I guess, right, Doug? Having a COVID protocol in place up here.
It has been a challenge, and we have worked very closely with our medical director, Greg Nakula, to make sure we're following CDC and CMS and state guidelines. We have multiple informational calls with Ascension Living, who has been wonderful support to make sure that we have the tools, PPE, everything that we need to make sure that we can take care of our residents.
Yeah, you and I clearly are unmasked. Right now, we're also 6 feet apart, but you walk in here, everyone's wearing a mask. If you're a visitor, you sign in, you have a temperature check, the questions are asked and answered. Safety, obviously, is your #1 priority.
And the same thing goes for all of our associates. Our associates go through that same screening every time they come into the facility. They are screened again halfway through their shift to make sure that there has been no changes. And all of our associates in our licensed care areas, such as health and rehab and assisted living, all of our associates are tested twice a week to make sure they do not have COVID.
We were up here before Christmas and had a conversation and learned then that you have these protocols in place, but then you want the residents, as long as the numbers are appropriate, to be free to come and go and live their lives. And that was very impressive to me because people choose to move here because it is a life choice. To then not be able to get out and live your life would be a real difficulty.
Yeah, and we try to do that, you know, with our different areas, independent living, assisted living. There are certain protocols that we have to have in place in certain parts of our community.
Right.
But we try to give as much freedom and as that we can do and still maintain safety and maintain compliance with guidelines.
So what do you do if somebody should come down with COVID, if they test positive? Do they stay just in quarantine in their own unit? Is there a separate area where they go? What do you
Well,
do?
so we are very unique in our health and rehab center that if we do have someone that contracts COVID, and we have had cases, but because we have 6 different neighborhoods, we are able to move those individuals into another neighborhood where we can contain it. We have a designated admission unit where all of our new admissions, we still are accepting new admissions from the hospitals. You know, people still get sick, people still have surgery. But we have a designated unit where they stay for 14 days before they can go into another area of the facility, making sure that it's safe. And then, like I mentioned, if we do have cases, we have a unit that only opens if we have positive cases. And the rest of our neighborhoods are limited. We only have 19 residents in each of those neighborhoods, so we can contain it very well.
You've got doctors who are here on site, both Erlanger and Memorial represented. So have people, when they've come down with the cases, have they gotten those tests here if they wanted to, or did they have to go off of the property?
So again, there are protocols in place where if somebody is symptomatic, we test them immediately. We do only use what's referred to as the PCR test. So it is sent off. We get the results back within 24 to 48 hours. If we suspect that they're symptomatic, of course, they would be put on isolation and all the precautions put in place. So the tests are available not only for our residents, but for our employees
If
as
there's
well.
one thing I've kind of learned from my association with y'all over the years is that you're kind of forward-thinking people. You look ahead, not over your shoulder. So you didn't waste any time in finding out about being able to give out the vaccine. You've already given out a round, right?
So our first round of vaccine with the Moderna vaccine was on the 20th of January. We gave over 565 doses here on campus.
That's a lot.
It was a lot, and we partnered with Walgreens, and we weren't exactly sure how it was going to go, but I know the feedback we got from Walgreens, they said it was the smoothest vaccine clinic that they had done, especially with the numbers
Wow.
that we had.
So now you're getting ready, I guess, for round 2.
Round 2 is the 17th, and we expect to probably do over 600 because there's some individuals who didn't get it the first round who will get it the second round, and of course our second doses, and then we have another clinic in March that will catch up those individuals. And we're very thrilled. We make a big deal about it. We did some shirts for all of our associates who are getting the vaccine. It says peace, love, vaccine, life is good.
That's
so
awesome.
we're very proud of those, and they're really comfortable too, by
And
the way.
that'll be a souvenir in the hopefully not too distant future when we'll look back and go, oh, remember those days of COVID? When it's all behind us.
Well, and they wear these on Fridays, and so it's a reminder for all of our associates that, hey, if I didn't get it, maybe I need to get it.
Right.
And they see that everybody got through it fine. We had no reactions, and so it's encouraging to see.
And I guess before I let you run, for people who are watching and they're considering making a switch, but there's people who are nervous with this whole COVID world, what you're doing right now that's focusing on COVID, you've always done when the focus was something else. There's a team approach here to keeping it as much as life as normal as possible.
Certainly.
Right?
I mean, we are always following infection control to make sure we don't have anything enter the community as much as possible. I mean, COVID, of course, has changed everything. We look at things totally
Sure.
different. I mean, who knows what our new normal is going to be like, but yeah, we always try to make sure that our residents are safe and we have protocols in place.
Well, thanks for letting us come up the mountain and pay you a visit.
Thank you.
You too can get a t-shirt if you'll just come up here and move in and
Absolutely.
get your vaccine.
Absolutely.
AscensionLiving.org is your website, the phone number there on your screen. Doug, thank you.
Thank you.
Count on the Channel 3 Storm Alert team all winter long.
Pets, plants,